TikTok tends to appeal to younger users, as 41% of its users are between the ages of 16 and 24. As of 2021, these individuals are considered Generation Z. Among these TikTok users, 90% said they used the app daily. TikTok's geographical use in 2019 has shown that 43% of new users were from India before the social platform was banned in the country. But adults have also seen growth on TikTok. The share of US adults who regularly get news from TikTok hit 14% in 2023. By July 2023, TikTok has become the primary news source for British teenagers on social media, with 28% of 12 to 15-year-olds relying on the platform, while traditional sources like BBC 1/2 are more trusted at 82%, according to a report by UK regulator Ofcom. As of the first quarter of 2022, there were over 100 million monthly active users in the United States and 23 million in the UK. The average user, daily, was spending 1 hour and 25 minutes on the app and opening TikTok 17 times. Out of TikTok's top 100 male creators, a 2022 analysis reported 67% were white, with 54% having near-perfect facial symmetry. Popular TikTok users have lived collectively in collab houses, predominantly in the Los Angeles area. China heavily regulates how Douyin is used by minors in the country, especially after 2018. Under government pressure, ByteDance introduced parental controls and a teenage mode that shows only whitelisted content, such as knowledge sharing, and bans pranks, superstition, dance clubs, and pro-LGBT content. A mandatory screen time limit was put in place for users under the age of 14 and a requirement to link accounts to a real identity to prevent minors from lying about their age or using an adult's account. The differences between Douyin and TikTok have led some US politicians and commentators to accuse the company or the Chinese government of malicious intent. March 2023, TikTok announced default screen time limits for users under the age of 18. Those under the age of 13 would need a passcode from their parents to extend their time. As with other platforms popular with children, underage users may inadvertently reveal their daily routine and whereabouts, raising concerns of potential misuse by sexual predators. At the time of reporting, 2018, TikTok had only 2 privacy settings, either private or completely public, without any middle ground. Comment sections of sexy videos, such as young girls dancing in revealing clothes, were found to contain requests for nude pictures. TikTok itself forbids direct messaging of videos and photos, which meant follow-up interactions, if any, would have to take place in some other form. In recent years, the US has charged and sentenced sex predators to jail for illegal activities on TikTok against underage girls. On January 22, 2021, the Italian Data Protection Authority demanded that TikTok temporarily suspend Italian users whose age could not be established. The order came after the death of a 10-year-old Sicilian girl involved in an internet challenge. TikTok asked its users in Italy to confirm again that they were over 13 years old. By May, over 500,000 accounts had been removed for failing the age check. In July 2021, the Dutch Data Protection Authority fined TikTok €750,000 for offering privacy statements only in English but not in Dutch. It noted that TikTok had implemented positive measures, such as forbidding direct messaging for users younger than 16 and allowing their parents to manage privacy settings directly through a paired family account, but the risk of children pretending to be older when creating their account remains. TikTok raised the minimum age for live streaming from 16 to 18 after a BBC News investigation found hundreds of accounts going live from Syrian refugee camps. 30 of them showed children begging for digital donation. TikTok reportedly made as much as a 70% commission on some of them, a figure that the company disputed. In March 2024, the Italian Competition Authority fined TikTok €10 million for not protecting underage users adequately from harmful content such as the French scar challenge, which left heavy pinch marks on a person's cheeks. TikTok has provided a platform for users to create content not only for fun but also for money. As the platform has grown significantly over the past few years, it has allowed companies to advertise and rapidly reach their intended demographic through influencer marketing. The platform's AI algorithm also contributes to the influencer marketing potential, as it picks out content according to the user's preference. Sponsored content is not as prevalent on the platform as it is on other social media apps, but brands and influencers still can make as much as they would if not more in comparison to other platforms. Influencers on the platform who earn money through engagement, such as likes and comments, are referred to as meme machines. In 2021, the New York Times reported that viral TikTok videos by young people relating the emotional impact of books on them, tagged with the label Book Talk, significantly drove sales of literature. Publishers were increasingly using the platform as a venue for influencer marketing. In December 2022, NBC News reported in a television segment that some TikTok and YouTube influencers were being given free and discounted cosmetic surgeries in order for them to advertise the surgeries to users of the platforms. In 2022, it was reported that a trend called de-influencing had become popular on the platform as a backlash to influencer marketing. TikTok creators participating in this trend made videos criticizing products promoted by influencers and asked their audiences not to buy products they did not need. However, some creators participating in the trend started promoting alternative products to their audiences and earning commission from sales made through their affiliate links in the same manner as the influencers they were originally criticizing. In June 2022, NBC News reported that some of the influencers paid by FeetFinder, a website that sells foot fetish content, did not disclose their videos were ads. FeetFinder said that it has suggested to influencers to be upfront about who was funding them. Existing sellers on FeetFinder said that the videos often misrepresented how easy it is to make money from posting feet pictures. Other TikTok creators have spoken out against accepting sponsorship deals indiscriminately and criticized those who posted undisclosed FeetFinder ads. In October 2020, the e-commerce platform Shopify added TikTok to its portfolio of social media platforms, allowing online merchants to sell their products directly to consumers on TikTok. Some small businesses have used TikTok to advertise and to reach an audience wider than the geographical region they would normally serve. The viral response to many small business TikTok videos has been attributed to TikTok's algorithm, which shows content that viewers at large are drawn to, but which they are unlikely to actively search for, such as videos on unconventional types of businesses, like beekeeping and logging. In 2020, digital media companies such as Group 9 Media and Global used TikTok increasingly, focusing on tactics such as brokering partnerships with TikTok influencers and developing branded content campaigns. Notable collaborations between larger brands and top TikTok influencers have included Chipotle's partnership with David Dobrik in May 2019 and Dunkin' Donuts' partnership with Charli D'Amelio in September 2020. Since 2021, TikTok has created election centers on its platform leading up to European Parliament elections. About 30% of EP lawmakers use TikTok to get their messages across and to dispel misinformation. In February 2024, the re-election campaign for U.S. President Joe Biden announced that it had opened a TikTok account while taking advanced safety precautions. Biden posted his first video during Super Bowl 58. The move was criticized by a number of lawmakers over security concerns. Since 2022, the Biden administration has been briefing TikTokers on news items such as the Russian invasion of Ukraine and student debt relief in America. Privacy concerns have been brought up regarding the app. TikTok's privacy policy lists that the app collects usage information, IP addresses, a user's mobile carrier, unique device identifiers, keystroke patterns, and location data, among other data. Other information collected includes users' inferred interests based on the content they view as well as content created by users. TikTok can share data with its corporate group, including ByteDance. The company says that it employs access control and approval process overseen by a U.S.-based team. In June 2021, TikTok updated its privacy policy to include potential collection of biometric data, including face prints and voice prints, for special effects and other purposes. The terms said that user authorization would be requested if local law demands such. Experts considered them to be vague and their implications problematic for the United States due to the country's general lack of robust data privacy laws. In a November 2022 update to its European privacy policy, TikTok stated that its global corporate group employees from China and other countries could gain remote access to the user information of accounts from Europe based on demonstrated need. A March 2021 study by the Citizen Lab found that TikTok did not collect data beyond the industry norms, what its policy stated, or without additional user permission. In May 2023, The Wall Street Journal reported that former employees complained about TikTok tracking users who had viewed LGBT-related content. The company said its algorithm tracks interests, not identity, and non-LGBT users also view such content. Concerns have been raised about the potential control and influence of the Chinese government over TikTok's owner, ByteDance, in particular the extraterritorial implications of China's 2017 National Intelligence Law. An article in the law insists that all organizations and citizens shall support, assist and cooperate with national intelligence efforts. Differ in their assessments of the data collection risks. Jim Lewis of the Center for Strategic and International Studies said TikTok would have no right to appeal requests for data made by the Chinese government. Some cybersecurity experts say individual users are not at risk. The United States has not offered any evidence of TikTok sharing such information with Chinese authorities. Keeping user data within the United States became the motivation behind TikTok's Project Texas. In October 2021, following the 2021 Facebook leak and controversies about social media ethics, a bipartisan group of United States lawmakers also pressed TikTok, YouTube, and Snapchat on questions of data privacy and moderation for age-appropriate content. Lawmakers also hammered TikTok about whether consumer data could be turned over to the Chinese government through ByteDance, its parent company in China. TikTok said it does not give information to China's government and U.S. user data is stored within the country with backups in Singapore. In June 2022, BuzzFeed News reported that leaked audio recordings of internal TikTok meetings reveal employees in China had access to overseas data, including a master admin who could see everything. Some of the recordings were made during consultations with Booz Allen Hamilton, a U.S. government contractor. A spokesperson of the contractor said some of the report's information was inaccurate but would neither confirm nor deny whether TikTok was one of its clients. As a consequence, the Senate Intelligence Committee, including U.S. lawmakers Mark Warner and Marco Rubio, called for the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, to investigate ByteDance and whether TikTok had misled them. Following the reports, TikTok confirmed that employees in China could have access to U.S. data. It also announced that U.S. user traffic would now be routed through Oracle Cloud and that backup copies would be deleted from other servers. In June 2022, FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr called for Google and Apple to remove TikTok from their app stores, saying sensitive data were being accessed from Beijing and ByteDance would be required by law to comply with Chinese government surveillance demands. In November 2022, Christopher A. Wray, director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, said the Chinese government could use TikTok for influence operations on its users. In May 2023, a former ByteDance employee filed a wrongful termination lawsuit alleging that Hong Kong users' device information and communications, particularly those of demonstrators in the 2019 to 2020 Hong Kong protests, were accessed by Chinese Communist Party members in 2018. ByteDance denied the claims, saying the employee worked on a defunct project and that TikTok was pulled out of Hong Kong in 2020. In June 2023, TikTok confirmed that some financial information, such as tax forms and social security numbers, of American content creators are stored in China. This applies to those signing contracts with and receiving payment transactions from ByteDance. Whether similar information will remain exempt from being treated as protected user data is being negotiated with Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, FIUS. In February 2024, the Director of National Intelligence's Unclassified Annual Threat Assessment stated that TikTok accounts run by the Chinese government were used to influence the 2022 United States elections. In response to security concerns of the United States government, TikTok has been working to silo privileged user data within the United States under oversight from the U.S. government or a third party such as Oracle. Named Project Texas, the initiative focuses on unauthorized access, state influence, and software security. A new subsidiary, TikTok US Data Security Inc. USDS, was created to manage user data, software code, back-end systems, and content moderation. It would report to the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, FIUS, not ByteDance or TikTok, even for hiring practices. Oracle would review and spot-check the data flows through USDS. It would also digitally sign software code, approve updates, and oversee content moderation and recommendation. Physical locations would be established so that Oracle and the U.S. government could conduct their own reviews. The company has been engaged in confidential negotiations over the project with FIUS since 2021 and submitted its proposal but received little response from the panel afterward. In March 2023, a former employee of the company said Project Texas did not go far enough and that a complete re-engineering would be needed. TikTok responded by saying that Project Texas already is a re-engineering of the app and that the former employee left in 2022 before the project specifications were finalized. TikTok has faced criticism for transferring European user data to servers in the United States. It is holding discussions with UK's National Cybersecurity Centre about a Project Clover for storing European information locally. The company plans to build 2 data centers in Ireland and 1 more in Norway. A third party will oversee the cybersecurity policies, data flows, and personnel access independently of TikTok. In October 2022, Forbes reported that a team at ByteDance planned to surveil certain U.S. citizens for undisclosed reasons. TikTok said that the tracking method suggested by the report would not be feasible because precise GPS information is not collected by the platform. In December 2022, ByteDance confirmed after internal investigation that the data of 2 journalists and their close contacts had been accessed by its employees from China and the United States. It was intended to uncover sources of leaks who might have met with the journalists from Forbes and the Financial Times. The data included IP addresses, which can be used to approximate a user's location. ByteDance stated that it fired 4 employees in response. The incident is being investigated by the U.S. Department of Justice and FBI. The U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia reportedly subpoenaed information from ByteDance regarding its surveillance of journalists on TikTok. In December 2023, the United States House Select Committee on Strategic Competition between the United States and the Chinese Communist Party inquired the FBI about the status of the case. In January 2020, Checkpoint Research discovered a vulnerability through which a hacker could spoof TikTok's official SMS messages and replace them with malicious links to gain access to user accounts. It was later patched by TikTok. In August 2020, The Wall Street Journal reported that TikTok tracked Android user data, including MAC addresses and IMEIs, with a tactic in violation of Google's policies. In August 2022, software engineer and security researcher Felix Krause found that in-app browsers from TikTok and other platforms contained codes for keylogger functionality but did not have the means to further investigate whether any data was tracked or recorded. TikTok said that the code is disabled. On February 27, 2019, the United States Federal Trade Commission, FTC, fined ByteDance U.S. $5.7 million for collecting information from minors under the age of 13 in violation of the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA. ByteDance responded by adding a kids-only mode to TikTok which blocks the upload of videos, the building of user profiles, direct messaging, and commenting on others' videos, while still allowing the viewing and recording of content. In May 2020, an advocacy group filed a complaint with the FTC saying that TikTok had violated the terms of the February 2019 consent decree, which sparked subsequent congressional calls for a renewed FTC investigation. In March 2022, following a class action lawsuit for violations of COPPA, TikTok settled for $1.1 million. In March 2024, it was reported that the FTC continues to investigate TikTok. In September 2021, the Ireland Data Protection Commission, DPC, launched investigations into TikTok concerning the protection of minors' data and transfers of personal data to China. The Irish DPC became the lead agency to handle such matters after TikTok established an office in the country, taking over investigations started by Dutch and Italian authorities. In September 2023, the DPC fined TikTok €345 million for violations of the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, vis-a-vis the mishandling of children data. In February 2019, the United Kingdom's Information Commissioner's Office, ICO, launched an investigation of TikTok following the fine ByteDance received from the United States Federal Trade Commission, FTC. Speaking to a parliamentary committee, Information Commissioner Elizabeth Denham said that the investigation focuses on the issues of private data collection, the kind of videos collected and shared by children online, as well as the platform's open messaging system which allows any adult to message any child. She noted that the company was potentially violating the GDPR, which requires the company to provide different services and different protections for children. In April 2023, the ICO imposed a £12.7 million fine on TikTok for misusing children's data. In February 2022, the incumbent Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton, initiated an investigation into TikTok for alleged violations of children's privacy and facilitation of human trafficking. Paxton claimed that the Texas Department of Public Safety gathered several pieces of content showing the attempted recruitment of teenagers to smuggle people or goods across the Mexico, United States border. He claimed the evidence may prove the company's involvement in human smuggling, sex trafficking, and drug trafficking. The company claimed that no illegal activity of any kind is supported on the platform. In February 2023, the Privacy Commissioner of Canada, along with its counterparts in Alberta, British Columbia, and Quebec, launched an investigation into TikTok's data collection practices. In February 2024, the European Commission launched an investigation into TikTok for potential violations of the Digital Services Act, DSA, involving content aiming at children and advertising transparency. In December 2023, the Office of the Australian Information Commissioner announced an inquiry into TikTok's data harvesting of Australian citizens amid allegations that it contravened Australian privacy law. Vox noted in 2018 that bullies and trolls were relatively rare on TikTok compared to other platforms. Nonetheless, several users have reported cyberbullying via features such as Duet or React, which is used to interact with followers. A trend making fun of autism eventually created a huge backlash, even on the platform itself, and the company ended up removing the hashtag altogether. Parents filming how their children reacted to people with disability, often in terror, led to criticisms of ableism. In December 2019, following a report by German digital rights group Netzpolitik.org, TikTok admitted that it had suppressed videos by disabled users as well as LGBTQ+ users in a purported temporary effort to limit cyberbullying. There are concerns that some users may find it hard to stop using TikTok. In April 2018, an addiction reduction feature was added to Douyin. This encouraged users to take a break every 90 minutes. Later in 2018, the feature was rolled out to the TikTok app. TikTok uses popular influencers to encourage viewers to stop using the app and take a break. Many were also concerned with the app affecting users' attention spans due to the short-form nature of the content. This is a concern as many of TikTok's audience are younger children, whose brains are still developing. TikTok executives and representatives have noted and made aware to advertisers on the platform that users have poor attention spans. The company's survey reported that nearly 50% of social media users find it stressful to watch a video longer than a minute, and a third of users watch videos at double speed. Their short attention spans posed a challenge for TikTok to pivot towards longer content formats. TikTok has also received criticism for enabling children to purchase coins which they can send to other users. In February 2022, The Wall Street Journal reported that mental health professionals around the country are growing increasingly concerned about the effects on teen girls of posting sexualized TikTok videos. In March 2022, a coalition of U.S. state attorneys general launched an investigation into TikTok's effect on children's mental health. In June 2022, TikTok introduced the ability to set a maximum uninterrupted screen time allowance, after which the app blocks off the ability to navigate the feed. The block only lifts after the app is exited and left unused for a set period of time. Additionally, the app features a dashboard with statistics on how often the app is opened, how much time is spent browsing it, and when the browsing occurs. Since 2021, it has been reported that accounts engaging with contents related to suicide, self-harm, or eating disorder were shown more similar videos. Some users were able to circumvent TikTok filters by writing in code or using unconventional spelling. The company has faced multiple lawsuits pertaining to wrongful deaths. TikTok said it is working to break up these rabbit holes of similar recommendations. U.S. searches for eating disorder receive a prompt that offers mental health resources. In 2021, the platform revealed that it will be introducing a feature that will prevent teenagers from receiving notifications past their bedtime. The company will no longer send push notifications after 9 p.m. to users aged between 13 and 15. For 16 to 17-year-olds, notifications will not be sent after 10 p.m. In March 2023, TikTok announced default screen time limits for users under the age of 18. The Wall Street Journal has reported that doctors experienced a surge in reported cases of tics, tied to an increasing number of TikTok videos from content creators with Tourette syndrome. Doctors suggested that the cause may be a social one, as users who consumed content showcasing various tics would sometimes develop tics of their own, akin to mass psychogenic illness. In November 2022, Australia's medical regulatory agency, the Therapeutic Goods Administration, TGA, reported that there was a global shortage of the diabetes medication Ozempic. According to the TGA, the rise in demand was caused by an increase in off-label prescription of the drug for weight loss purposes. In December 2022, with the United States experiencing a shortage as well, it was reported that the huge increase in demand for the medicine was caused by a weight loss trend on TikTok, where videos about the drug exceeded 360 million views. Wegovy, a drug that has been specifically approved for treating obesity, also became popular on the platform after Elon Musk credited it for helping him lose weight. Several former employees of the company have claimed of poor workplace conditions, including the start of the work week on Sunday to cooperate with Chinese time zones and excessive workload. Employees claimed they averaged 85 hours of meetings per week and would frequently stay up all night in order to complete tasks. Some employees claimed the workplace's schedule operated similarly to the 996 schedule. The company has a stated policy of working from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. 5 days per week, 63 hours per week, but employees noted that it was encouraged for employees to work after hours. One female worker complained that the company did not allow her adequate time to change her feminine hygiene product because of back-to-back meetings. Another employee noted that working at the company caused her to seek marriage therapy and lose an unhealthy amount of weight. In response to the allegations, the company noted that they were committed to allowing employees support and flexibility. With reports that Palestinians resorted to TikTok for promoting their cause after platforms like Facebook and Twitter blocked their content, Israeli analyst Yoni Ben Menachem called the app a tool of dangerous influence inciting violence against Israelis. According to Anet, the Palestinian militant group Lions Den gained much of their popularity through TikTok. In February 2023, Etzma Yehudit politician Ahmed Cohen advocated blocking TikTok for all of East Jerusalem. According to the Times of Israel, anti-Semitism at the company was rampant after the 2023 Hamas-led attack on Israel, allowing anti-Jewish and anti-Israel content to increase on the platform. Prominent Jewish individuals such as Sacha Baron Cohen, Deborah Messing, Amy Schumer, and TikTok creator Miriam Izagui raised the issue with Adam Presser, TikTok's head of operations, and Seth Melnick, its global head of user operations, both also Jewish. U.S. lawmakers wanting to ban TikTok accused the platform of pushing pro-Hamas and pro-Palestine content. TikTok said that its user base includes non-US regions as well and that hashtags cannot be compared directly due to differences in views and age. The popularity of pro-Palestine content has also been explained by the app's younger user base, which has shifted its sympathy away from Israel towards the Palestinians. The Jewish Federations of North America expressed support for TikTok to be banned, while Israel's critics denounced the criminalization of pro-Palestinian voices, including on TikTok, which has been used to condemn Israel's atrocities, according to the New Arab. TikTok was also accused by Malaysia's Minister of Communications, Fahmi Fadzil, of suppressing pro-Palestinian content. The company stated it banned praising Hamas and removed more than 775,000 videos and 14,000 live streams. In November 2023, Osama bin Laden's 2002 letter to the American people went viral on TikTok and other social media. In the letter, he denounced the U.S. and its support for Israel, and supported Al-Qaeda's war against the U.S. as a defensive struggle. Numerous social media users, including Americans, expressed their opposition to U.S. foreign policy by sharing the resurfaced copies of the letter and its contents. The Guardian website removed the letter after displaying it for more than 20 years, and TikTok began issuing takedowns of videos featuring the letter. In the Washington Post suggested that the virality of the letter had been limited prior to media coverage, having never trended on TikTok. Many of the TikTok videos covering the letter were critical of bin Laden, and media coverage had exaggerated its significance while elevating the virality of the letter. Many countries have imposed past or ongoing restrictions on the video sharing social network TikTok. Bans from government devices usually stem from national security concerns over potential access of data by the Chinese government. Other bans have cited children's well-being and offensive content such as pornography. In January 2020, the United States Army and Navy banned TikTok on government devices after the Defense Department labeled it a security risk. Recruiters had been using the app to help fill quotas, and some continue to maintain a level of engagement through their personal accounts. According to a 2020 article in the New York Times, Central Intelligence Agency analysts determined that while it is possible the Chinese government could obtain user information from the app, there was no evidence it had done so. On August 6, 2020, then U.S. President Donald Trump signed an order which would ban TikTok transactions in 45 days if it was not sold by ByteDance. On August 14, 2020, Trump issued another order giving ByteDance 90 days to sell or spin off its U.S. TikTok business. In the order, Trump said that there is credible evidence that leads him to believe that ByteDance might take action that threatens to impair the national security of the United States. Donald Trump was concerned about TikTok being a threat because TikTok's parent company was rumored to be taking United States user data and reporting it back to Chinese operations through the company ByteDance. In June 2021, new President Joe Biden signed an executive order revoking the Trump administration ban on TikTok, and instead ordered the Secretary of Commerce to investigate the app to determine if it poses a threat to U.S. national security. On December 27, the Chief Administrative Officer of the United States House of Representatives banned TikTok from all devices managed by the House of Representatives. On December 30, 2022, President Joe Biden signed the No TikTok on Government Devices Act, prohibiting the use of the app on devices owned by the federal government, with some exceptions. On March 13, 2024, the United States House of Representatives passed H.R. 7521, which would ban TikTok completely unless it is divested from ByteDance. The bill is pending on Senate action. As of February 2023, at least 32 of 50 states have announced or enacted bans on state government agencies, employees, and contractors using TikTok on government-issued devices. State bans only affect government employees and do not prohibit civilians from having or using the app on their personal devices. Critics say the United States itself surveils individuals abroad via tech companies under FISA laws. Data collected by TikTok and other social networks can already be purchased through other means. If passed, H.R. 7521 could embolden authoritarian censorship of American internet companies and affect U.S. interests, reputation, and online speech. There has not been clear public evidence of data harvesting or influence campaigns by the Chinese government on TikTok. In April 2021, the Abu Dhabi Department of Culture and Tourism partnered with TikTok to promote tourism for the city. It came following the January 2021 winter campaign with the United Arab Emirates Government Media Office. In June 2023, the New Zealand Herald reported that TikTok, working in cooperation with both New Zealand and Australian police, deleted 340 accounts and 2,000 videos associated with criminal gangs including the Mongrel Mob, Black Power, Killer Bees, the Comancheros, Mongols, and Rebels. TikTok had earlier drawn criticism for hosting content by organized crime groups promoting the gang lifestyle and fights. A TikTok spokesperson reiterated the platform's efforts to countering violent and hateful organizations' content and cooperating with police. New Zealand Police Commissioner Andrew Coster praised the platform for taking a socially responsible stance against gangs. TikTok has partnered with the Hispanic Heritage Foundation to support small Latino businesses, setting aside $5,000 each for 40 grant recipients based on entrepreneurship. After Olympics digital advertising rules were relaxed, TikTok and Team GB signed a sponsorship deal to help UK athletes connect with new audiences for the 2024 Summer Olympics. Thank you for watching this video.